Let's talk about the use of a straight stitch throw plate. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're doing free video tutorials on everything inside this machine, both the sewing side and the embroidery side. And speaking of both sewing and embroidery, that straight stitch throw plate, which if you have tucked it into your accessory box, it lives underneath your free arm. So slide that off, and then you can just go ahead and slide this out. So I'm going to talk about its use and what it is, and which stitches and techniques I use it for. So first thing you notice is the plate that came with your machine, probably first, has a 9mm opening. So the stitches can go all the way across, and they're fairly big, and that's why you probably bought this machine. So this throat plate, you can see, has a tiny hole for just straight center needle position straight stitch. Here's a nice little thing they've added. As soon as we switch these out, when this goes on, the machine will sense that it is in play, and it will not let you pick a zigzag at all. So that is nice that it's going to block you from breaking a needle, which I love, because if you get it on an embroidery huge project, you will find you probably have this on, and then you'll get back to sewing and then wonder why you can't do any other stitch other than a straight stitch. So that is a nice feature. So where do I use it when I'm just in the sewing side? I like it when I am just sewing straight center needle position. Maybe I have my 1/4" foot on, I'll use it for that. That also helps so you don't accidentally pick a zigzag with your 1/4" foot and then break a needle, because that foot only has also kind of a center gap for it to stitch in. So that is a good one. If you've ever had your fabric kind of dive into, like right at the beginning, or maybe you're sewing from corner to corner and you start right here where the point is, and that point goes down in the machine, that is a great place to switch to this plate, because the needle won't have such an area to push it down in. When it's only a small hole, it will actually stab that corner and keep it from like going down. So that is a great use for a straight stitch throw plate. When I free motion quilt is another place I put this on, because as you notice when you're moving your fabric in all these different directions, you find that that needle actually is kind of trying to go with you. But if it can only go in and out of a very small area, it will keep it nice and stabilized. And you usually eliminate like threads breaking or skip stitches. So if you're running into that and you haven't tried your straight stitch throat plate yet, give that a go, and I think you'll notice a big difference there. Okay, embroidery, that's pretty obvious. Put it on for embroidery, it is great. But do keep in mind, I've had this happen a couple times, people who love to embroider and then come to a class sometimes bring their machines with just this plate, and then we have to kind of run around, find them a zigzag plate so they can do some of our sewing things that we are planning to do in class. So just always keep these together, especially if you're going to sew somewhere else. You are probably going to need both plates at a given time. So make sure you always have both together. And since they do have a place to live, and the accessory box usually goes with most of you, is keep that right in place, and it just kind of slides in and holds in place, and then you always have it when you need it. If this video has been helpful, make sure you're clicking like as you're watching each of these videos, and you can find a complete playlist of all the Epic 3 videos in the description below.